Oh my goodness, I swear this team is cursed. Because one night the offense is nowhere to be found. For the last 5 games or so, they've had no offense at all. 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, no runs. Tonight they score 4, but they give up 6 and lose 6-4 to the Baltimore Orioles and are now 1-9 on the season. Now, we talked about how these games early in the season, they may not look big as when you look at this perspective of, there's still lots of games to be played. I get that. But you have now not beaten, the Baltimore Orioles are 4-0 against you. When it comes to, what if you get tied late in the season and you think, man, we've lost 4 in a row to start the season against these guys. Yeah, they could come back and bite you. You lost 3 of 4 to Tampa. Who knows what they're going to do? They're beating up on the Red Sox. Well, it's 10-4 right now in the 9th. For goodness sakes, Tampa's 6-5. We know what Boston's going to be like. We play them next. This team has to get something together. I don't really know what to pinpoint now. I thought it was the offense. 4 runs is a win. It's winnable, right? When you score 4 runs, you can win a game. When you give up 6 and you only score 4, obviously you're taking the L. Aaron Sanchez did not look good in this one. He looked okay for 4 innings, and then it was just rough the rest of the way. His 5 in the third, 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. Again, in that 5th inning, that's where the damage was done, right there. And not every pitch, but most of his pitches were up in the zone and getting crushed. To a team like Baltimore who can hit the ball well, you can't be doing that as much as he did tonight. And he got away with some, but not a lot, because they clobbered him around in that 5th inning. And the way the Chase offense has been, and you're giving up it was 5-3 at the time. We already scored 3 runs. That was a shock in itself. But then you give up 5, and it's like, jeez. But the last 2 games, something we have seen, and if we want to try and take a positive, is that this team has been trying to grind it out. They've been trying to fight back and trying to find ways to win. Because in the 9th inning in both games, they have had a couple runners on, but just couldn't cash them in. Now, I'm not saying this is just a step in the right direction and like a couple of days from now we'll be cashing those guys in. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I'm seeing a little bit more of is some fight in this team. As much as it doesn't look like it because they're 1-9 and they're not winning games and they're still losing and stuff like that, but they're trying to fight back as best they can right now. And as much as they can't come up with the clutch hit, which is killing me, they're not just, down 6-3 in the 9th inning. A lot of teams would just say, screw it, and just go 1-2-3, ball game, go home. But this team's, got a couple guys on, drove a guy in. There you go. It's 6-4. You get a couple guys on. Pierce gets in a good count. It eventually dwindles down and then takes a stupid swing and game over. But, and now hearing Donaldson's on the 10-day DL, clearly he wasn't fine and coming back too early. He's like, I'm fine. Don't worry. I'll be back in the game. I'll be back the next day. Well, first off, he wasn't back the next day. I think he DH'd that was it that game or the game after? Something like that. And then he played DH the game after and re-aggravated. Now he's on the 10-day DL. And that's a potent bat. For goodness sake, the hottest bat in our lineup. Buddy was hitting over 300. That's all we got right now. And you lose him, and now he's at least gone for 10 days. But something I want to talk about. I've been talking about in the videos a little bit how taking first pitch strikes is not always a good thing. Especially when they're hanging curveballs or fastballs right down the middle. You got to be taking hacks. As a player, myself, I look, I used to be like that and take first pitch strikes all the time. It never worked. And when you change your approach and you're aggressive and you look at that first pitch and you take a hack at that first pitch, and it's a quality one to hit, good things will happen. A great example, Justin Smoke. I know, great example, and Justin Smoke don't usually go in together, but he has done one heck of a job this season so far. The guy is hitting .267. He was 2 for 4 tonight. He had a home run, and, I thought he was great. I thought Justin Smoke was fantastic in this one. I don't usually say that often, but what I was seeing from him in that it was the second inning where we got a couple runs. Justin Smoke on the very first pitch got a pitch to hit and drilled it into, left field. And there you go. First pitch, there it is. Next at bat comes up. First pitch. Hanging curveball. Well, what are you going to do with that? Just take it not the first pitch. I'll get more pitches. No. You swing and you hit it out of the yard, and that is what he did. If I'm not mistaken, Kevin Pillar in the ninth inning where he had a single right back up the middle. I'm not sure if that was on the first pitch or not, but if it was, there's another example. If you're being aggressive and you go up there, and if you go up there with an approach like, okay, if the first pitch is there, I'm taking a hack. If not, well, okay, we'll regroup. Go up there with an approach saying, all right, if it's there, I'm ready to hack. And that's what Justin Smoke, from what I can tell at least, that's what he looked like. With 2 RBIs and a home run. For goodness sake, the Jays have scored 2 runs before today. They scored 2 runs in their Justin Smoke scored more runs today than the Jays did in the previous 2 games alone. Why? Because he was aggressive and smart at the plate. I don't say that often about the guy, but I have to praise him for that. He did a great job. Plain and simple. If guys are going to give you a pitch to hit right first pitch, get me over fastball, take it for a ride. Even if you get a single or hit a double, fine, it's something. You get on base, you never know, right? So I just need to have a little bit of that because I was watching the game and I was watching Justin Smoke do that. I'm like, that is what I'm talking about. We just got to see more of that. If the pitch ain't there or you just look at it and you're like, I should have taken a hack, fine, okay. But don't just look at it and go, okay, and then K. It's useless. Speaking of K'ing, we talked about how the Jays have had a lot of strikeouts this year, and I think this is like the third or fourth time. I think it's the 4th time, actually. They've had double-digit strikeouts, and it's been a tough time. But today they had 15 strikeouts. You can't win games without hitting the baseball. Clear as day. It's common sense at that. But on to the next one, I guess. We just got to keep grinding, and hopefully this team hits something and finds something, and they just keep going. But hopefully it happens soon. Tomorrow, obviously, Marco Estrada getting the start. He's looking to bounce back. And, Alec Asher, I think he's on the mound tonight, or tomorrow night. Or it's tomorrow afternoon. I keep forgetting it's Flyer Friday night right now, and it's Saturday tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an absolutely crazy day. It is going to be nuts. So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hey, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys thought of this game. Did you see any signs of good things coming from this team? Or are you still in that same mode of this team is really killing me? All right, and we'll talk to you guys, tomorrow. All 3 teams playing tomorrow. We'll start with the Raptors edition, all right? Well, it's 5:30 tip-off. Game 1, round 1, Raptors and Bucks. I want this win so bad, even though they don't do well in Game 1s. I want to see a Game 1 win, all right? We'll also talk to you guys, Leafs edition. Leafs and Capitals, Game 2. Like I said in all the videos since then, Leafs looking to even up that series and come back home with a split, which would be gorgeous. And also, Jays edition. Tomorrow afternoon, the video might be out a little bit later. It might be about 5:30. Maybe in the first half of the Raptor game, I'll upload the video, something like that. All right, and Jays looking to really get out of this hole they're in. But afternoon game, hopefully, maybe the dome will be open. I'm not too sure. Maybe it shouldn't matter. The Jays need a win. We'll see you guys then.